recorded live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia and across the Delaware Valley.
I'm the Capo. He's the Prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Adam, welcome back to episode number 25, where we are doing something completely different. No guest, but we are joined on a live streaming that Devin still hasn't really been able to explain to my old ass what the hell it is, but apparently we're combining YouTube and Squadcast and all kinds of other technology to do a live recording where he's going to have to edit the shit out of this.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Not only that, I have to actually behave this week because, people are going to be able to physically see what I get, the shenanigans I get into while recording this podcast. So
it's a lot of shenanigans, guys.
It's a lot of tomfoolery, It is not a subtle process, I'm a method podcaster, if you will,
You're a fly by the seats of the pants, and as some people already noticed, yes, we do have notes. Adam doesn't read the notes, but we have notes.
Yeah, Adam's thing, it's his thing now. He just doesn't read the notes.
The thing about me not reading the notes is because people want the genuine reaction to things. I don't want to have my thoughts, predisposed. You ever watch the Inside the NBA? Of course you do. You ever hear the regular commentators go, and then you hear Chris Webber, and everything Chris Webber says sounds like he's scripted it and rehearsed it 30 minutes before he says it. There's nothing like he's the one who sounds like I'm playing a video game because every word he says is pre-canned. You don't need that out of me. You want authenticity here, off the cuff.
I'm glad you compared yourself to Chris Webber. I'm not even going to touch that. We'll just keep going.
C. Webb.
Oh, man. But a little bit of business, of course. It is the beer of the pod. Gents, Yards, 2SP, the Larimer. I actually did the trifecta on Saturday. Went to Yards to grab lunch. Hit 2SP for the drive-thru because we needed beer for the volunteers at the membership drive-thru, which Adam was there, no Devin. And then we went afterwards to the Larimer. So we hit all three. Everybody's doing well, so make sure you go and hit them up. And I mentioned that membership kit pickup event, that actually went really well. Shout out to Molly and her intern, Ryan Bross. Besides, some of y'all can't really drive that well. Everything else worked out great. People were masked up. We had tables. We actually had John Light had the Wu Fang kit was there, which, man, Barros outdid himself again. So the Wu Fang kit looked really good. And
how does he always outdo himself?
What's that?
How does he always outdo himself?
Not always, man. We mention when he does good. When he doesn't, we kind of brush it under the carpet and that kind of stuff. Speaking of, he just sent me designs for some masks. He outdid himself. So the masks are gonna get working, but no, it was a good event. Adam, you had fun. You got to come out for a bit.
I did. I got some manual labor. Us Wayne kids don't do that too often, so that was fun. But no, it was good. It's good to see everyone. Good to see the stadium. It's I've driven by Talent Energy. My apologies. The Sub. I've driven by the Sub a couple of times, just casually, because sometimes I'm in Delco, and I know I'm not the only person who's done that so far. But it's nice to I see the people on the Zoom, the drunk Zoom happy hour. Shout outs to that. But it was nice to see half of them in person. Even if they were masked up and through some car doors.
Yeah.
Good to see the people.
Yeah, it was good. Really happy with the event, and it was good to see people. Now, all right. So yesterday I participated in the Union Foundation Zoom event, and I was telling you guys before. It was done really well. Yeah. The only thing is, I don't know if they communicated to everybody what it was about and how it was going to happen, because I had some misconceptions, but they ran it through Zoom, but you couldn't see the other people. You couldn't talk. You could communicate through the chat. So it wasn't that shit show that Zoom sometimes is. They had a video message from Jay. They, Casper was on with Mackenzie and Blake. Kevin Casey did a great job moderating. Then it was Allie and Richard and Jim and Steve and Graham were on, and then KD came on, and I'm thinking KD was just going to be, "Hi, this is Kevin Durant, thanks," and that he was live interacting with Kevin. So Kevin Casey. So that was really good. They just did a great job. I just wish, it was a little bit more clear what was done, but anybody listening, if they do another event like that, it's worth your 20-25 bucks to go in. And they had some cool items to bid on. Our friend Richard came away with a Messi jersey. Um, yeah, I wasn't even going to get in that bidding war. So no, it was a good event. I just wish, like I said, more people got into it. I think Foundation's doing a good job, but if you see it again, give it a shot. Next piece of news. Adam, are you ready for this?
Are we doing the Fusion Hour this early?
No. The team is being sent off tomorrow at Subaru Park.
I heard of this. Yes.
So yeah, the team about 12:15, 12:30, the bus will go rolling past us and we are allowed to be socially distant, masked up, but we
Can I
will be
give my
bringing the
feelings
smoke.
about this?
What's that?
Can I give my feelings about this one?
What are your
I
feelings
think
about
this is. It's not smart, and it's just not. It's not. You don't need it. Why do you need it?
Uh
What is it going to do for the players?
normally
Nothing.
I'm
Morale.
normally
Okay,
I'm
seeing about 20 fans 6 feet apart. That's going to help
Yeah.
with morale.
Did you not see with our great friend Alyssa G and them did down in Miami with it? They had a nice little distancing, like a nice little. Everyone had barriers, and they walked through pink smoke for like a quarter mile. It looked
Okay, but
interesting.
it's the union. Are they going to do it the right way?
Well, we're bringing the
We want
smoke,
to
so yeah.
believe. We
We
we have enough smoke bombs. I mean, honestly, we have enough fireworks apparently in the Delaware Valley to make this thing spectacular. So
It just seems like it's not needed. But okay,
well,
I'll let you
I
guys run with this one.
normally agree with you, Devin, but considering that you're sending the boys off to a luxurious prison, maybe they just want to see some friendly faces before they go. And plus, keep in mind we haven't been able to see or do anything with Hens players this whole season.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people are just crammed up in the house. So and we I'm going to go down because I do have a 2:30 tea time in Delaware. That it's right on the way, so it's pretty works out for me. So
can we expand upon the prison that is the
We're
Swan
gonna get to
and
that.
the Dolphin.
and the Dolphin? Okay,
That's
cool.
later
I'm
in the
happy
news.
about that.
We've
Yeah,
got
we're
all
gonna get
kinds of
if
Dolphin news, buddy.
if you would look at the notes.
Absolutely not. If anything, I'm going to be indignant now with the lack of looking at notes because I believe it's charming.
So that is like three more segments down. So if we can get
And
into that, or do
Mike
you want to
Thomas,
skip
we're also
ahead
gonna
and
get to that.
trash the notes? I
Oh
say
wait, here's the thing. You also didn't put the notes in the chat this week. I just want to throw that out here. Usually that's my guide to getting
I
this
knew I
solved.
didn't need to.
Oh,
Because
you
I
did,
knew
but you knew
I would
you
be throwing it
did.
out there
But you knew you
to the
did.
wind.
Oh man, so I said fire to the rain. All right, whatever. I'm here
so.
for this.
This Friday, another Drunken Union Zoom, I believe. Maybe Jared can comment in the comment section. I'm assuming we're still having it, even though it's a holiday weekend. Anybody get that? No, I don't know.
I mean, I
We'll
will.
see.
I will be
Occasionally.
back down in the south. So I will be live on location if we're gonna do the Zoom happy hour. Though, I'm here for it.
I'm gonna try to pop on. I'm not sure. I've got some things going on that day since it's the anniversary of my birth.
Date night.
Oh,
Date night.
birthday.
Yeah.
And
A
anniversary
gentleman
of my
doesn't
birth.
ask, by the way.
What's that?
A gentleman doesn't ask, by the way.
Old. Not the big one. Oh, speaking of birthdays, real quick, shout out to our
Yes.
friend Katie Fellinger. Turned the big 40.
Yes.
Friend of the pod.
Shouts.
Yeah. Um.
Like the OG friend of the pod too.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
first friend of the
First
pod.
guest. We're still looking at viewing party sites. This is the wrap up of the news, or almost the wrap up of the news. Devin always slides one more thing in there on me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still looking for the chat or the notes here.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
last
man,
minute
okay.
mid pod looking
Google
for notes.
Docs, bud.
Oh,
It's a
that's where
shared
it's at.
document.
It's
Oh,
always in the same place.
I got to open up a whole new thing.
Oh boy. Yeah, so we're still looking at viewing parties, especially now that the city won't go to green, no indoor bars. We're talking to people with tents, we're talking about outdoor stuff. We're trying to make sure people will even feel comfortable coming together, but keep in mind it won't be more than 25 people at any of these events. If you have a business and you want to have a viewing party and you want to let us know, email me at matt.gendasek@sonsofben.com and we'll make sure we get it out there. We're just looking for places that people that want to watch the games with other fans, socially distant, safe, masked up. You know, if you want to do it, we're going to do that too. I would love to be out of the house to watch some games with some people. So, and if somebody's throwing a really good party, we'll bring the whole Sons of Ben podcast crew there. We'll make Devin take off from work and everything. It's going to be great.
Hey, I have off of work for the Thursday game, the 9 a.m. I
Ah,
made sure I
well.
got off work for that one.
Hey, Gigio, let's get some coffee at Grand Cafe, buddy.
There we
Hey, I
go.
found the notes, guys.
Yeah. We're halfway through the first page.
Good job.
Awesome, man. I'm here for this. If you
Now,
wanted to know who did the least in the group project, now you know.
so Devin, back to the ripcord. What do we got going on there?
Ripcord. Hold on. let
Oh,
me-
the Discord. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna fight this
Alright.
man. I'm going to
Wait, hold
Callow
on,
Hill
hold on.
to
Adam,
fight
Adam,
this
hold on.
man.
This is me calling out Adam Minute. Adam,
Yes.
I still have not seen an Adam Booth in the Discord.
Did you see a malt vinegar?
And
Okay.
hold on, I sent him the invite.
You
I
did.
saw
Sent him
the invite.
You did.
Still didn't get an Adam.
So
invite.
here's what I did. I forgot how to get into my Discord from my phone.
Ah.
I like it all. Here's 1,000% the honest to goodness truth. I
I
have
didn't
not.
even get in a Discord. Come
I
on
have
now.
not. No, but here's the thing. Like, what I need to do is just make a new username for Discord because I haven't personally used my Discord in like 5 calendar years, maybe.
Then who's using it?
I mean, like, no one. I haven't been on Discord. I used to play many MMORPGs with the buddies, so then I had a Discord, but then we stopped because I started playing Overwatch all the damn time and no one wanted to play with me. So here I am.
So Overwatch killed the Discord. Keep that in mind, Devin. Every
Overwatch
time we
killed a
talk
lot
about
of
Overwatch.
But it also begun a lot of things, like the
Overwatch
Fusion
killed
Hour.
themselves, to be honest.
So, Devin, did we do anything good on the Discord? Is there anything that we have to, the parents have to come and look?
No, nothing new, but everyone should still join there. That fabulous video that we showed, you can find that on the Discord as well. And it's been a lot of fun. It's nice to have little conversations in there when things happen, and yeah.
Good to know. Now, Adam, it's back
Yes,
to Union and MLS news. Do you know
Oh,
what's
no.
happening right as we speak?
CJ Sapong is eating a really mediocre ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, is he down there already?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
Chicago. Or I don't think it's Chicago. Is that he was commenting on it on Twitter, but I know Dallas is down there already, and they're making it look real sad.
Oh, Dallas is down there.
They're
Yeah.
making it look really sad and decrepit.
Yeah.
It
so
just looks real terrible.
the boys are trickling down to O-Town. Adam, what's your favorite O-Town song?
First off, how do you even know O-Town? Shouts, because that's like, did they win a contest? I forget. Anyway, I
They were the
digress.
contest winners. Yeah,
They
were the
did win a
made-up
contest.
band. Yeah,
Okay,
it wasn't
cool.
LFO. LFO
No,
does Chinese
Who?
food makes me
Yeah,
sick.
that's the one. That's the one. I always got Chinese food confused, and like that, it was like Five for Fighting. There's like a lot of boy bands I just forgot about. Anyway,
Someday we're gonna get drunk. I'll tell you my NSYNC story, but that's a whole nother podcast.
please, that's the content I crave right there. But no,
Early years of NSYNC too, like free show, early heckling years.
oh my god, I want like spaghetti hair Justin Timberlake stories for days. Like that's what I
Oh.
want. Now
God, we made the one guy cry.
Oh, I will say this though about the great city of Orlando. How did y'all think opening Universal Studios was a good idea? I'm just trying to throw that
That's
out
the
there.
least of the state of Florida's issues. At least
Oh,
in
it is, but it's still an issue in the state of Florida.
Universal
it's just compounding
Studios at
it.
least has sinks where you can wash your hands. The beaches have been open and people have just been polluting all over the place. I mean, don't even get me started on the state of Florida and
Shout out to the
cesspool that
Tallahassee
is.
Union, the Tallahassee Union supporters group. Shout out because you guys are my buds and I love you. But Florida is basically America's Australia, and it's scary down there. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
just
So,
between
so I
the
put this in
wildlife and
there.
the heat and the poor decisions. It's yeah.
And now, Adam, you
So,
keep saying that it looks sad with Dallas coming down there, but can I read you some of the highlights that were what
oh
the
yeah,
players can get at the Swan and Dolphin
Oh
provided by
my
the
God!
MLS? This was a
Please
press release
share.
from the MLS. Each team a private wing at their hotel,
Hmm.
a suite for the manager. Nice job, Jim. A club lounge, meeting rooms. The club lounge will include, get this, whoa, ping pong,
Yes.
playing cards, or they
Ooh,
can play video games.
that actually sounds like a prison. Like
Oh,
those are the options you get in a minimum
the video
security
games are
prison.
like
and
it's
there's
as, it's
more.
like an N64
You're
and an
right.
Atari. Like
It's
then
locked behind like several bars. Like the TV is like literally like one of those like long backed based TVs with like
And
tubes still.
it's only that Mickey Mouse build your theme park game. They can't play anything else but
First
that.
off, I
Like,
would actually be okay with that. That was a good title. Also, Pokemon Snap, I would tear that up. I hear that's coming
so
out as a remake.
there's more. Wait, there's more.
Please.
Each team has access to one of 10 performance training centers. It's equipped with a, I'm doing the quote fingers, full
Yeah.
range of equipment,
Yes.
including, I don't know what this is, but it's called a stationary bike.
Okay.
Most people have a Peloton or something, but yeah, stationary bike and
They're not that
treadmills.
rich. Yeah.
Yeah. Each team is allowed 1 2 hour session per day. And each training section center will be disinfected after every session. Like you have to say that. It's got to be,
I
and
would
then,
hope.
but not
I,
one, but 2 lap pulls.
and then what
But
happens when the NBA shows up?
they're,
Do they
they're
like
nicer
lose half their
hotels.
privileges?
No,
Would
they're
you?
nicer hotels. They're
Oh my god, that's gonna be so terrible when they get the actual like real good hotels at Disney World
yeah.
and like they're at the Swan.
Yeah. Now here's there's even more. This is the gift that keeps giving. In terms of non-soccer excursions, each team will be offered one complimentary golf outing or a fishing trip. And in true Disney fashion, additional trips can be scheduled for a fee.
Hold up. Hold
where do we
up.
even start?
Wait. First, how the hell do you social distance on a fishing trip? How big is this freaking boat? How
I
many
think
are
they just,
allowed to go? Are there several? Is there a fleet? Do they have an armada of boats? And first
Or
off, they're in Orlando, which is, as I know, it's pretty landlocked.
no.
Are they going to lakes?
Disney's got those lakes and they have those little bass
So it's
fishing
the
boats.
fake lakes?
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's the
you're
fake
catching
lakes of Buena Vista?
you're catching bacteria. You're not catching real
I'm.
fish.
And they have the audacity to charge them for more trips?
Well, if the first one was so enjoyable, you're gonna want to pay. Come on. Now wait, there's more. Getting in the notes.
hold on.
They keep plussing it.
Can
They will
opt out?
also have access to beaches as well as a grotto pool with covered cabanas, tube rentals, water volleyball, and water slides.
Ain't nobody want to go in no damn grotto.
By the way, the keep in mind the beaches that they got with those lakes, they got gators that snatch little children and stuff. So
Like-
don't be laying on no Kai Wagner. Do not go laying on that beach. They'll snatch your little German hand.
Florida is Australia. It is a different continent on that peninsula.
Now
And this is ridiculous.
they do offer more. There's bocce ball, soccer. I don't know what tech ball tables are. Giant Jenga, cornhole, spike ball. There's oversized battleship. How can these guys not be entertained?
Is that the movie with Rihanna?
That was over budgeted battleship.
Oh man, that has so much potential to not suck, but oh god, did that suck.
And speaking of sucking, they're going to have poolside movie nights featuring, and they quote, pop culture favorites.
Wait. Are they in the pool while watching these movies? What beaches, Turks and Caicos is this? What are
Dude,
we
it's-
doing?
they're gonna be singing along to like Frozen and all kinds of shit, man. It's gonna
Um,
be.
and I got so many questions, and most importantly, how broke is MLS? Like, are they that much in the red
That's
here as a league
exactly.
Well,
that we can't even get them 2 damn fishing
That's what I
trips
wanted to
over
talk about.
I
what?
was gonna s-
Like, man, the NBA is gonna come in there and stunt on Major League
They already
Soccer.
said. Did you see today? They already came out and said that I think the whole cost of sending the teams down and everything would be like 150 million. You think the MLS is spending that much?
Absolutely, the bleep. That's why they're at the Swan.
Exactly.
there's gonna be
I went to-
150. There's gonna be 150,000 spent. Yeah.
Matt, as our resident Disney expert, I have to ask a question. So when I was at Disney for our junior class trip, it was the music one,
Oh, the pop. You were in the All Star Music.
All-Star Music. Okay, in comparison to the Swan and Dolphin, how is the All-Star Music in comparison to this?
The All Star Music is the bottom of the barrel. That's where you send juniors in high school.
That's exactly. But like, what, like, how, like, what's the tier of like?
The Swan and Dolphin is a convention hotel,
Yeah.
so it's a very nice Marriott. But it
okay,
is
so
not,
they're at like the Resident Inn.
no. It's above that. It's like a big
okay.
Sheraton Marriott.
It's a
nice,
Sheraton.
but it's not where the Sixers are at the Grand Floridian,
Yeah, I heard about that.
which is the flagship hotel. Which is
The big one
Butlers
with
and,
like the
yeah.
doesn't it have the tram that goes through it.
No, that's the Contemporary. But let's not get me all
Oh,
geeky.
okay.
I can't believe that Matt knows this much.
I actually
Dude,
just
I
wanted to
passed the
test
test
him
and
and all.
everything, you know
I
this,
just
man.
wanted to keep needling his Disney knowledge. I was just like, oh, is that the one with the thing? No, it's not the other one. Okay. No, that was good though. That
Oh,
was good. You
man.
passed with
So-
flying colors.
Man,
So before we get off this topic, I put a few questions in here. I think it'll be interesting to hear you guys' answers on this.
Oh, please.
So
Oh my God, he found it. Yes, I'm so glad we have video with this one so people can see the ridiculous of you pulling out your damn name tag.
So, first of all, we already talked about your thoughts on the bubble, but FC Dallas is down there.
Yeah,
They already got 6 confirmed cases.
already.
yeah, but they had that in Dallas for God's sakes, not down there.
Well,
Well, I mean,
2 of
Texas
them
is also terrible.
had it when they got there. 4 of them probably got it from the other 2 that already had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought it
Understand.
down there.
But so, what do you think about the bubble then? You can't make a bubble. It's not gonna work the way they want it to.
I mean, nothing's a true bubble. Just same thing with the NBA. But I was reading the biggest danger, if there's any danger, is the hotel employees, the interaction they have with them,
Yes.
and that is the same interaction you would have if you were getting takeout. You know,
Which is why
So-
I don't.
are these guys in any more danger than you and I? They're in less danger than somebody that has to work at Acme or Wawa. So when people are like, "Oh, we're putting our lives in our hands," you know what? My Amazon driver has got a more dangerous job than you right now. So they have a bubble. You know, they're going to fight boredom. They're going to fight playing giant battleship. I mean, I go back to Alexi Lalas, where he goes, "If you give a shit about this league, you're going to want to be there. So you're one of the sports back. So this league survives, not thrives, survives." Is anything perfect? No, but take your normal precautions. Wash your hands. You know, if you're worried about your housekeeper, you don't have to let them in to clean your room. You can make your own bed. You know, you're grown ass adults.
So that being said,
This league ain't finishing.
scale on 1 to 10 that this gets canceled before the first kickoff.
Before the
2.
first kickoff, 0.
Correct.
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Scale on 1 to 10 that this gets canceled before the knockout round.
2.
4.
Scale on 1 to 10 this gets canceled before the final. That
9.
it finishes. We finish the tournament.
9.
Because if you're
9.
Dallas and you're infected, then you get knocked out. Bye bye. You couldn't keep yourself healthy. It's just like you're losing. See ya. You know,
If
like
they
if
can
you're
field
LA and you
11,
come in,
If they
Yeah.
can field 11, they should be able to compete.
this is a last man standing tournament. So if we're the healthiest team, we did last man standing. We're
That's-
bringing the cup back,
that's-
and it fucking counts.
Oh,
Look,
this
here's-
sounds
We
like,
wash our hands
some-
better than you.
Here, all
We
right, so
want the
what?
cup.
So
We want the cup.
if the Whitecaps, you know, come down to this thing, then go back to Vancouver and 6 of them got it, and then they go give another spread through Vancouver again. Do we just cause an international incident because of this bubble? You know,
Nah,
is
it's
Trudeau
Vancouver.
coming down and kind of talk to the Floridian government? Like, look, Florida went from a place of relative safety to one of the epicenters that has more cases than some European nations right now. And I'm looking at this thing like, I get the idea of the bubble. I get the idea that you invented the place where Disney exists, so you can put that into some form of control. At the same time, how many employees at the Orlando airport caught this thing? Like 150? Like some astronomically high number of like employees at one airport caught this virus. So I'm like, a month ago this sounded like a good idea, but where we are now, how look, man, this thing should have been played in Siberia. We should have put this thing in the deepest parts of like Winnipeg. This should have no business being in a place that could be as stupid as Florida tends to be.
Well,
So that brings me to my last question, right? Should this tournament be happening?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not. It should not be happening. None of these sports should be happening. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to enjoy them. I hope the Sixers find a way to win a championship in a bubble in Orlando. Be so happy about that. But at the same time, no. Man,
See-
this is just such a weird like liability that had no business to happen, especially now. Like again, a month ago we can have a conversation. Now, no. Florida's on fire.
All right. Well, before we get too far away from this, so Justin Freeberg here, Matt, he has a question for you.
okay.
Can you tell us the capacity of each Disney hotel?
No. I don't know all the rooms, but I can tell you what's the bigger ones and what's the smaller ones. But no, I don't have that
This
kind
is
of knowledge.
important
I'm sorry.
It's very important.
Other news, man, for the Florida tournament, we were very, very, very wrong. No Corey Burke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Corey can't come back to the country, so that was broken by our buddies at Fox the Gambler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends of the pod
Um,
again.
Friends of the Pod.
Does this affect your outcoming of what you think the union could do?
No. There's no way.
Hmm?
How would that affect it?
No,
You got 3 strikers.
this is
He's
gonna be a
fine.
bonus. And I love
Yeah.
Corey Burke, but whatever he was supposed to bring was a bonus. I already thought the Union were a top 6 team without Corey Burke, and I was gonna be like, and then there's another guy. You know, that's like it's like Corey. All right, Corey Burke is that like third gun you have holstered on your ankle after like the first 2 guns you have. You already went through them. And you're like, oh, I also have this one. You know, it's just he was another thing to put in the chamber, and I was going to be super excited about his return. But it's just like, and here's the thing: if I'm Corey, do I want to come back to America right now? Is this where I want to come? You know, to do like I think I'm not like 100% sure, but there's a good chance of where he is might be better than where we are right now. You know, but cool. You know, Corey Burke comes back. You know, we have a lovely time trying to figure out where he fits in with the 6.5 strikers that we now have. A thing that the Union used to beg for striker play, and now we have so many. But you know, we shall see.
I mean, I think we're gonna be okay, but it was just something I was like, man, we've got that extra striker. This is gonna be great. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna affect us. But I was hoping to see Corey in mid-season form during a tournament where they're playing insane, you know, times where it's 9 a.m., 8 o'clock, 10:30. So I was hoping. Now, I guess Devin, this was more your question on the NWSL.
Yeah, so I just wanted to see if you guys had any opinions. Well, first of all, have you been watching the NWSL?
Yes and no. I've been trying to tune in. Finding some of the CBS coverage has been a little like I couldn't find the Sky Blue game until it was over, and then I had it recorded on, and I was watching a little bit today. So, and I already knew what was going on, so I wasn't going to continue watching it. But I've watched the opening, the first match, and when I can break away and watch it, I've been watching it.
I really think this has been great for them. Like they've been getting so much coverage and so many eyes that they would not have been getting.
And that's the reason the MLS should be doing this tournament in Florida.
I can I can see that because
Of course. Like, of
I
course,
see that, but then at the
yes.
same time,
And listen, everyone thinks Utah's like a utopia where it's safe. I mean, they're still in a bubble, and guess who ruined it? Orlando couldn't go because they weren't being smart.
Because
So
Utah's boring as shit, and they had to
you've
do
got to trust the
something.
players to act like professionals and respect the bubble. And
I can't wait till hockey is the only sport that actually does this correctly.
yeah, well, I listen. I want to see what the NBA does because they've got all the money to do the best protocols, but they also have the players that don't listen to shit and don't need to because they have
No
so
one's
much money.
players listen. The problem about all of this is, and above everything, is you're paying the guys in the NBA too much to really tell them anything. Like, it's like at a certain level, you're dealing with MLS players are just like, because of what they make, they're just like, yeah, I'll figure this out, because what are my alternatives to this? But the guys like DeAndre Jordan who are just immediately like, yeah, I'm out. I'm not going to do this, like people who are just like, I don't want to play. And like in a league like the NBA, they're going to be able to have guys who are like, I don't want to play. And that might mess up their league tremendously, but I'm just like, we're going to have one or two dudes mess up here in some capacity or another, and it's going to contaminate an entire franchise. And, this thing might fall apart before it even really gets started.
Yeah. Um, Sorry, Devin, I'm typing you something.
boy,
But yeah.
Inside
So I
baseball.
mean, I I think it's great for the NWSL. I think it's could be great for maybe not great, but I think it's necessary for uh, the MLS to have this event.
Yeah.
To make this. So I think it's just a calculated risk that you need to make. And then you're gonna have to weigh what they're gonna do in August, like with at home games and everything. Now, Devin, you wanted to know about the anthem and everything. That was your big.
well, yeah, I just wanted to see if you guys had any opinions on the whole anthem thing because I think they were good at first, and I think they kind of botched it a little bit. But you
I,
guys, I
I'll
want to
give
see. I
one.
know Adam would have a thing about this, but
I'll give you one quick take. I'll let Adam go, and then I'll have probably the devil's advocate take. But the only thing that it bothered the shit out of me, and I don't know why, but why did the Nike swoosh have to be so fucking prominent on the Black Lives Matter t-shirts? Like, did they really need to know that they sponsored that? Like, did they have to say that? Did I need to see commercialism shoved down my face when you're trying to make a message? I mean, I know the NWSL doesn't have a lot of money, but t-shirts ain't that expensive. You don't need the Nike swoosh or the Adidas swoosh. And I pray to God, I hope if the MLS does something, they don't screw it up and have Adidas splashed all over this because it just takes away from the message. That was the one thing that just distracted me. I'll let Adam talk about the anthem and then I'm going to give my opinion, which is probably going to be a little different.
So, the anthem's stupid. And not like the anthem itself, but just like, why are we playing this in front of sporting events? There's no other country that I know that does this thing. Like, literally none, other than maybe Canada. And it's only when they're hanging out with us. Like, you go to any soccer event in any other part of the globe, and you will never hear the national anthem played of their nation for the club. They'll play some interesting, cool song that's like local to them or something, but it's just like, at this point, it just makes no sense to continue to do it. If it's going to be this divisive thing, and we've established that it is now, it's just no point. It's just no point. And above, like, here's the thing. Above all, are we going to forget where we are? Like, do people forget we're in America? Like, this is one of the more fascinating things about American patriotism to me. Is just like, I'm okay with it. I'm for it. Like, be proud of where you grew up in your country and all that. But it's just like, do you really need that many representations of hello, we're in America in a given day?
yeah.
Do we like? I could go to 3 sporting events in a day. Do I really need to hear the national anthem at all 3 sporting events? You know, it's just, if it's the national team, we can have a conversation about that. If it's the Olympics, you know, tradition is with that. But I'm just like, I know tradition is with this, but this is one that could just go, because it makes too much conflict at this point. Just let it go. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'll try to make this brief without ranting and raving and everything, because we talk about this all the time. There's two sides, and have a conversation. I mean, in '68 when Tommy Smith and John Carlos did this at the Olympics, you're like, talk about people that got blackballed and ridiculed for the fists in the air. That was a human rights statement. And Kaepernick's doing it, and I'm under this. I'm me personally. I'm not a fan of you sitting or kneeling or doing something in the national anthem. I just think, hey, during that song, just stand up and respect the country, just because it gives you these rights. But I also think people have to understand the reason you can kneel or sit in the national anthem, because this is a great country and you're afforded that right to protest. Now, I'm going to put a marketing hat on, and if you're protesting, you're supposed to be trying to get a message across. At some point, your message isn't getting across, it's getting diluted because people don't know what's going on. So, how are you communicating your protest, and is it getting the message across, or is it just angering people, and are you just trying to anger people? So, here's my thing. I will always stand during the national anthem, but I respect your right to do what you do. But you should also understand that people that, want to stand for the anthem, they may think you're an a-hole for doing what you're doing. And you should, on the same point, respect their point that they think that way. And then maybe there can be a dialogue about this. I mean, I've got friends on both sides where they're the people that would kneel, and I got friends that are in the military, so it's a divisive, like you said, Adam, but when does it distract from the message and it's
So
no longer effective?
here's the thing. This is the only thing I'll say about it.
Here's the thing.
Anybody that thinks that kneeling during the anthem has anything to do with disrespecting the country in any way is not correct. That is not why they're kneeling.
But
Right.
but Devin,
But-
and I'm not to even cut you off, and I'm just nip this in the bud right here. The thing about it is this: this country means differently to different people, and that's the core of the conversation. And it's like, look, what we need to be able to do is all respect the viewpoints of it. As Matt said, if you can respect the person who kneels, you have to also respect the person who doesn't kneel. A lot of people went, Julie Ertz versus Rachel Hill when it came to the cup, and I'm just like, both of those people are allowed to do exactly what they did. If Julie Ertz wants to kneel with her compadre, that's fine. If Rachel Hill, if she wants to stand and put her arm on their shoulder, that's fine. That the beauty of America above anything is just the ability to choose and to not ultimately get persecuted for any choice that doesn't harm anyone else. That's the point. I mean, that's the goal of it. But here's a quick story, real quick digression. We play the national anthem at the Union games all the time. I stand for the national anthem. It's not because I don't want to, or it's because I feel like I have to. It's just usually I was in a go-go cage, so it made standing just kind of the optimized thing. But it's just like, look, I don't care either way. I'm very neutral on the subject. I know the centrist perspective is not always loved, but I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. But I will say this: when one time I had my back to the flag at the Union match, because, as you know, we also have the flags of all of the people who represent the team on the back line of the river end. So I'm resting, not looking at the flag, but I'm looking at the flag behind. And I'm singing, but I'm also dancing because, again, it's the national anthem. I heard it 47 million times in my life. I'm going to make it funky this time. And I got a person who came down to me and was like, "You're disrespecting the flag that my brother died for." And I'm like, "You're going to put that on me?" Because I was supposed to know all of that. Like that's not respecting anyone at that point. You're gonna say that because of your personal feelings on a subject, my personal feelings become immediately invalidated. And I wasn't even doing the thing that you thought I was doing. But that's okay because eventually I went up the stairs, I talked to the man, and I started a dialogue, and eventually we became friends because that's what at the core you gotta understand each other. You gotta be able to communicate with each other. And everyone just wants jokes and sound bites, and everyone wants the one tweet that goes viral. And it's just like we've lost the idea of communication.
Nope. I mean that's kind of I think we've been talking about that. I think we all agree on that, and we come from all different perspectives on this, which is funny. But at least we could talk about it without shouting over each other. So hopefully that's the
You're
message
all
that
wrong.
everybody's
Make that
listening.
happen.
I'm right. You're all wrong, and especially since I'm the African American in the group, my thoughts supersede all your thoughts. Don't you understand this?
God, there's so many things I just want to say, but you
Don't
just
you
can't anymore.
understand?
Now, real quick, caller Devin had a X and O's question for us. Adam, do you want to hear this thought provoking question he had? And I've got a
Please.
great answer for him.
Please.
All right, I did not think this was X's and O's, but if this is X's and O's, all right, I get it. Jim Curtin said he could play McKenzie at the 6, and I had some thoughts about that.
So you've
Now,
got
is
a
that
question and the answer.
question? Go ahead.
Repeat
You've
that.
got the question and the answer.
So the question was, what are your thoughts on Jim Curtin saying that he could play McKenzie at the 6?
Yeah, I
I
love
haven't been in
X's and O's
practice.
question.
I guess he can. I don't know.
I love this. I actually love this because you know what he has come to the conclusion that we all came to a very long time ago. He has way too many center backs. And they're all super talented, and he has to find a way to play these dudes at the same time. He has to. He can't put Gleason's on the bench. He can't put Elliott on the bench. He can't put McKenzie on the bench. So he's just like, I gotta figure out how to put all of these super talented center backs on at once.
This is how you do it. This is from Kevin Kincaid. This is his
What does
his
he know?
podcast there. It's always soccer in Philadelphia. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
Basically, you do a rotation. All 3 group games. You do a rotation. McKenzie and Elliott. You do McKenzie and Glesnes.
No!
Then you do Glesnes and Elliott.
No. How do you get
Well,
chemistry?
here's
How do you
the
get
thing.
partnership?
I mean, I think what Jim's doing is just giving himself options. One, for other teams. So when Nashville's got to look at things like, we've never seen Mark McKenzie play the 6. How do we scout this? And two, this is the weirdest. I mean, this is like almost World Cup-ish weird tournament. 9 a.m., 8, and 10:30. You don't know who's going to cramp up. You don't know who's going to turn an ankle on training. Somebody might hurt themselves playing Giant Battleship. You don't know. So having a lot of guys in the rotation is probably the big strength for the Union. And then let Jim say, hey, you know what? I think Andre Blake, he might be our backup striker if we need it. Just to blow smoke up the ass of some of these other coaches that they don't know what's going on. I'm fine with it. Do I think we're going to see Mark McKenzie play the 6? No, I don't think so.
I think we will.
But
I
if we
actually
do,
think we
that's
will.
great.
You just brought in 2 number 6s. You brought
No,
in Ormets and you brought in Brujo.
but okay. So here's what we got now, right? We got like 5 subs, right? We got some like these astronomical rotations we got going, right? We got like 3 games in in 8 days kind of stuff, right? Why not? Especially if you're trying to close up shop for a game. Like let's say hypotheticals, you have Martinez start for a game, you're up 2-1. And you're trying to close up shop. Why not put Martinez or not put McKenzie at the 6? Is he not a better defensive option? And does he not have the athleticism to play midfield?
So, Kevin was saying that when you're in that position, you're not always playing with your back towards goal. And it can get a little weird. I don't know. I never played soccer.
When do you think? Like, here's the thing. Like, most soccer players, I feel, play multiple positions throughout their career, right? Like, most soccer players grew up. Other than like even
Most athletes,
goalies.
though.
like most, but I'm saying, but like even specifically in the game of soccer, like I think soccer players have played multiple positions throughout their childhood, and throughout their development in the league. That's why you see guys who will go from right back to right wing so like seamlessly because they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. But it's just like I think to myself, you did this with Marisa Dew, and it worked out pretty well. You did this with Amobi Akugo way back in the day. It worked out pretty well. Taking a center back, putting him in a number 6 position. And, like, look, you did sign number 6s who I would very much like to perform and be up to snuff. But if they so happen to not be, and you have this U.S. level, international level talent that could also play the 6, why not? It's again. I'm not saying like he has to start now at the 6. I don't necessarily want him to now be our number 6 going forward. But like to say that, yeah, I'll see. I wouldn't be not shocked. In fact, I'd be shocked if he didn't play some 6 during this tournament.
Now, part of that interview, and I don't know if you got this. Did you see the quote, Devin, that what Jim said about how he wanted the defense to play?
I did not.
He said he wanted them to play like a Justin Bieber song, where it gets in your head and it annoys the living shit out of you the entire time. Actually, he didn't say that. I
was
made up
about
that
to
quote.
be
But
like,
Jim, you
why
can
can
use
I-
that quote if you want it, Jim. I think that's a freaking gem.
Why can I see him actually saying that?
No, I can't. That's almost too clever for Coach. I can't.
So, Jim, take that quote. I want to hear it on ESPN during this. That my defense plays like a Justin Bieber song. We get in your head and we annoy the hell out of you the
my
entire
God.
time.
Oh, well, here's another thing. Talking about ESPN. Do you think MLS being on ESPN, MLS being on ESPN at 9 a.m., do you think that helps the league?
I'd rather watch that than Golic and Wingo so hell yeah. Now, being on
That's what a lot of people are
Univision
saying.
and being on FS1 might
The
not
fact
help.
that it's on ESPN at the same time as like Get Up and all those other shows, and maybe it'll draw people to watch.
I mean, there's
it. But I
nothing.
don't-
There's
I
no
don't see
sports
that.
on, and like we've gone through 3 months of Golic and Wingo just trying to make like Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers sound interesting. So I think,
Well, they got Cam Newton now too.
oh man, first off, I could do a whole other podcast about that. But it's like legitimately you have a shot because people just want to see sports at this point, But I mean, look, 9 a.m. is rough, 9 a.m. is rough on a weekday. That's
Well, here's
rough,
the thing:
mate.
people are working from home. I'll watch
Fair.
shit, man. I've been watching Friends for God's sakes. I haven't watched Friends since it came out, and like that's on in the background. So if you can save me from Ross and Rachel and that kind of crap, I'm all for it. So yeah,
That's
like
fair.
I think it's gonna help, especially because it's gonna happen before the NBA comes back. I mean, I'd love to see what the NWSL ratings are like on CBS, because even though they've been slotted at weird times, I'm sure people have been tuning in just because, hey, this is live on TV. Like, I've been glued to Wednesday afternoon Premier Leagues. Like, yeah, I'm working and TV might be in the background, but I've got it on because it's better than HGTV right now.
That's a lie. And furthermore, look, you got a month before the NBA does their thing.
All
And
right, well, we gotta start moving on here
okay.
Now, all right,
because
now
we have a
real
lot
quick,
to get to.
Is this the cattle
Devin,
prod, Devin?
we've got
This is the cattle prod.
Okay.
we've got some highlights. Are you going to edit this, or are you going to really try to play them along? Because
It depends on how long this ends
Adam
up
and I
being.
can talk about some of our best moments in the past 24 episodes.
Oh, you mean those?
Are we doing a clip
Yeah.
show?
Oh, I'm gonna play those. Oh,
All
we're gonna
right.
play those.
now?
wanna do a
Now,
clip
can
show?
you play it on demand, anyone, or do we have to go in order?
Go in order. It's easier for me.
Oh, do we want to be easy? Now,
Yes.
Adam, you might remember this, but we had Chief Business Officer, one Mr. Tim McDermott, come on, and we played a little game where we Shark Tanked, and we played throw pitch ideas to Tim.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And we uncovered a gem because we asked to have you and John Light, one of the co-founders of the Wu Fang clan, to participate in a super toy run.
Yes.
But we found out that young Timmy McDermott participated in his own super toy run. Devin, you got that beautiful bean footage?
Let's do it.
So you heard it here first. That's happening soon. Now, Adam, your turn. I think you've got because you actually try to pay to see if you can make this happen. So this is this is your chance. Let's see if you can get this thing done.
All right. All right. All right. So, Tim, I don't know if you remember a long time ago and what the kids would like to call the 90s. Nickelodeon had a feature that was on usually during commercial breaks after one of their shows called the Super Toy Run. I understand that there is an earlier version of this called Supermarket Sweeps, but for the purposes of the podcast, we're going to go with the Super Toy Run. And the Super Toy Run was a child's opportunity, and I thought this was the greatest thing that could ever happen to a child was you could run through a Toys R Us in, I think, 3 minutes and grab physically everything you possibly could into a cart. And that's it. And then there was no prize really other than you got everything that was in the cart. I propose that after the handful of billboards and a couple of murals and the side of the truck that I'm also on, that me and my good friend John Light should have a super toy run whilst on tricycles through the Union Shop.
Wow, this is one that is near and dear to my heart. I will tell you guys a little unknown secret. When I was about 8 years old, I won a Toys R Us shopping spree, and I was given 1 minute to run around and collect as much stuff as I could from Toys R Us and bring it back. There was a starting line and a finish line. You had to get it back across
the Super Toy Run.
And so basically what had happened, the way this worked was when I was a little kid, watching cartoons. This was probably about 1980, so it's not the 90s, but 80. So I had to answer, there was some little cartoon that was like, something about describe who these characters are, these animals, these cartoon characters, wherever they were on TV. And I wrote a note and you had to send it in, and somehow I was picked. And I specifically remember my mom and dad telling me that they were told that one of the reasons I won was A, I had the questions right, but B, they could tell that it was a kid that actually filled the information out and it wasn't just mom and dad. So anyway, so I win this thing. And this was a big deal for me. I grew up in a small little house, didn't have a lot of stuff, didn't have a lot of we were winning something like this was meaningful in terms of opportunities, if you will, and getting something. So I remember my mom and dad, we practiced. We went to a Toys R Us and we literally practiced and we mapped it out and we found out where they're actually going to do the actual shopping spree. And my mom and dad drove me there and we literally practiced a map and had it all routed out of like, I'm going to do this first and this second and this third. And it's so funny that you bring this up because literally last week, my mom just texted me a photo that we took at the end of that with me standing there with Baby G and Jeffrey and whoever the other ones were, whatever their names were. And there's me with my jeans that are pulled up to above my belly button. Back in the day, I used to wear them that high. And it was funny, man. It was funny. So I like your twist on this. I think this is a good twist. I think adding the tricycles to it will create an element of intrigue, potential danger. So that's interesting. That could be really interesting. Yeah. I like that one a lot.
I wanted to add that because like the Union Shop is a very nice facility, but it's not that large. And like I'm 6'2", so if you gave me a minute, I could grab half of that store pretty easily. So I'm saying we add the tricycles to it. This gives a little bit of intrigue. This gives a little bit of peril, as you would say, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. So yeah.
There it is.
Man, that was that was a little bit of gold there, finding out. And during one of the Union Zooms, Tim actually brought out that photo, so we're gonna have to see if anybody can get a screen grab. But we did see that photo.
We need that.
It's still.
Adam,
I still haven't got that set up yet. By the way, they have not contacted me. on.
Well, you can't go into a store yet.
You can totally go into a store and we can social distance.
I kind of want to see you guys crash tricycles, though.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that was a favorite moment. I thought we saw Adam's dream come true, so that was special. But this next one was probably, I know other people think it was their favorite too. We had our Union and Larimer legend, Sebastian Latu, in with us at the Secret Studio. And he promptly told Adam Booth what most of us, pretty much want to say half the time. Devin, you got that beautiful footage?
Do it.
So
Saved a point. I like at the end of that one save on the header. It's like in the 80th minute. I mean, saved a point straight up.
So if you can't get excited, you should be, because this Saturday it's the home opener.
We're gonna blow right past El Brujo here. You got to mention him. Come on.
Oh, true.
Come on.
That was the
Fight
other
Club?
thing. El Brujo looked like Rocky Balboa after Rocky 1.
See, everyone kept doing that that comparison. I was here to just say he looked like Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Oh,
That was because I mean, Rocky had it, but like that just like the chunk of skin missing from his face that really sold the Tyler Durden. I love.
Tyler Durden was a fictitious character.
Look,
and
man.
Rocky Balboa was real in Philadelphia.
Look,
we have
man.
a statue.
First off, both of these people are both fictitious. Let's be real.
We're not a factual podcast.
We
Adam's
cannot
wrong.
pretend that the New Yorkers actually have say over us, saying that Rocky's a real person. Rocky's not a real person. We have to make that real.
Sebastian looks defeated now.
So I'm sorry, Sebastian. Rocky's not a real person.
Fuck off.
Rocky's not real.
He's got a statue. You only do statues for real people. It's not Disney.
I was listening to The Eyes of a Tiger when I was 10-year-old, so he was pumped me up before game. So don't tell me that.
Yeah,
All right,
don't
Rocky's
ruin
real.
things.
Robert Lang is not real.
Sebastian's going to make a comeback like Rocky did. Okay?
Please don't.
I wish.
That's how we get Creed 3.
That was a good moment, man. I'm
actually
telling
love
you,
that.
and I think Sebastian's going to come back because he might play the 6 now. How do you feel about that, Devin? Jim said he could use him as a 6.
Look, I'm just happy I sounded less drunk than I felt on that podcast, so I'm happy about
Well,
that.
you called him Lebastion, so I don't know what that was.
Because it was Latu and Sebastian made a hybrid baby, so like it was like you are the Bastion was what I was going for, but no, Latu.
I thought you were like,
Bastion.
Le Bastard, you told me to
let me
fuck
ask you
off.
this.
I thought it was in
Let
a
me ask
Pepe
you
Le
this.
Pew like
I mean,
curse off
That's fair.
battle.
That's fair. I mean, if he never wants to talk to me again, I can completely understand that. But I think we're fine.
Do you think the first year of your union, you would have ever heard Sebastian Latu telling you to fuck off?
Right, like, here's the thing.
It might have been in a different context.
Here's the thing. People would pay good money to have Sebastian Latu tell them to fuck off. I got that for free. So, I take that's a badge of honor. There's Union fans who wish they had that level of interaction where a Ring of Honor member told you to screw off because you told them Rocky wasn't real.
And we're gonna keep this theme rolling because another great moment in Union Sons of Ben podcasting history was we had on, I'm gonna say Philadelphia sweetheart, Katie Fellinger, author of a new book. We had her on as our first guest in the studio, and we got her to curse.
I was convinced you
In
were
true
going to say
Sons of Ben
Sean
fashion.
Brace.
So we got to hear this one, Devin. Let's see how we corrupted the Philadelphia sweetheart.
We need who wants to sponsor ass hats? I think
We
can get
need
that
someone like.
Somebody would.
So now we're gonna
Let's
let
get
Katie
that.
read this because
Oh.
Katie's unfamiliar with the cesspool that is social media.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever been on it before.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's like to be bullied on social.
It's a weird place.
Am I supposed to actually
Just
verbatim?
read the tweet. You don't have to say the asshat's name. We don't want to give them any
You want me
credit.
to actually read this?
Oh,
though?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like curse words are acceptable.
Curse words they're fucking acceptable.
We got a real podcast.
Oh.
Maybe this is Disney radio.
This is gonna be the first time.
Ooh, cursing on
Yeah.
the
This is my first time cursing on the air.
Renegade.
Jesus. All right. You don't want me to say the guy's name?
No.
All right. Stop with the sexy season thing. It's fucking dumb.
Well, thank you, Fun Police.
No, it is fucking dumb. Fucking dumb like a fox. It is the best.
Yes, I agree.
I'm here for the sexy season
I
mainly
love
because
Yeah, here's my thing.
We're having a sexy season this year, I feel
It's January
It's
2020.
the most sexiest time of year.
I haven't spoken or seen or heard people speak about union soccer in January
Right?
since 2010.
One that one there.
Wait, the best part about like how much shit we got for that one.
Oh, it's still there's still some Twitter from that certain
There was so
individual
much
trying to
visceral.
relive from January.
But wait, that first, there's levels to that because first off, I love the fact that Katie Fellinger was just like, for the first time, she was like, "Wow, I am allowed to not be CBS 3 Eyewitness News. I can allow this to open up." But secondly, like I remember Sexy Season when it hit. I remember the visceral we got for not having Sexy Season. I remember the visceral for making that individual asshat of the week, and that still comes to this day, and it's hilarious.
Oh, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Adam, do you remember when we had Alexi Lalas on?
Apparently, that wasn't too long ago.
I just asking if you remembered. I'm watching you drinking a beer, so I'm thinking maybe you blacked out. But
I mean, depending on the audience, somewhat I might have.
I got to say this was great because one of my favorite people in the world to talk about is former Captain Mo Adu, and just the outrageous way he dresses. I say this out of jealousy because I don't think another man can pull off the wardrobe he does, but he does it and he does it well. And Alexi was, like me, the old man yelling off to get the kids off the front lawn. So I thought this story was just so on point and was another great moment. Devin, you got that one? It was worth it. It was so worth it. But so real quick, what's it like to work with such a handsome man like Mo Adu? The Philadelphia Union people really want to know, like, what's that experience?
He's gorgeous. I can't help
Right.
that. He's
so,
handsome.
yeah, I'm the old guy and the old grumpy guy at times, unless JP's
that's my
around,
role.
And right, exactly. So when Mo and Stu show up, and they wear really really tight clothes.
Oh.
Like for me, looking at them, they look uncomfortably tight. Like I don't even know how they function, and yet I know I'm an old guy, so that's not the style or whatever. But I mean, it's just like pegged, ridiculously pegged type of pants and stuff. And Mo, he had a child recently, and so that kind of changes things. So I haven't talked to him in a while, see how that is going. I love Mo. I love the way that he thinks about the game. I love the way that he thinks about life. He laughs at me when I ask him about his clothing or other things that we're talking about. It's fun working with these guys because they are. I mean, look, I'm not ridiculously older than them, but they are of a different type of generation, especially when it comes to the MLS generation that they grew up in. And you mentioned the 1.0, 2.0. Obviously, I was part of that 1.0 time, and they were much more of that 2.0 time. Yep. And to see the way they think about the game and the way they think about life and the way they think about MLS, it's always fun for me and interesting for me to hear their perspective on things. And it informs some of the things that I do. Not like it keeps me young or anything like that, but it makes me better at what I do because I don't have blinders on all the time. And they challenge me to think about things in different ways, and that's what you want. That's what you want from a diverse group of people who think about the game in different ways. You want them bouncing ideas off it. We don't always agree on different things, but I love the stuff that he's done for us at Fox. Obviously, he's worked Champions League 2, and I don't know what that's going to look like when it comes back. But he's a real talent and just a real gentleman.
So no plans to use his tailor at any time?
No chance. I mean, if I tried to pull off some of the stuff that he and let's be honest, that he, Stuart Holden, that whole generation, Carlos Bocanegra, Tim Howard, when we see these guys on television, I mean, there has to be a sense of comfort in what you're wearing, and I just don't get any of that when I look at it. It hurts me to see what they are wearing, so I can't imagine them actually And even just from a functional perspective, you talk about traveling. I would have no idea how to function on a cross-country trip on a airplane being dressed like that. It blows my mind.
You limit movements. You just limit extremity-based movements. You walk very uniformly.
I'm all for suffering for fashion, okay, but there is a limit, okay, in what they've done. And it just seems to get tighter and tighter and tighter.
Oh yeah, and he pulls off outfits that I go like the Joker in the Batman comics couldn't even pull off that suit, but he pulls it off.
I went shopping with him once with Mo.
My God.
I went shopping with Mo and Stu. So we go into this place. I kid you not, and so Mo tries on a shirt, and I mean, it is so tight. And he legit comes up to the front of the store where I'm just waiting because I'm not going to try on any of this stuff because there's no chance I'm wearing any of this stuff. But I'm just waiting as he and Stu are picking stuff out. And he comes up to the front of the store and asks one of the ladies there, do you have it in the size smaller? And I thought that he was messing with her because it was so tight that he was, big guy in a little coat type of thing. And he was dead serious. I just could not even believe it. He took it to 11. I mean, I didn't even know it could go to 11.
Oh my God. Oh geez, I wish I. Oh man, that was just love him laughing during the own story because that's the best when people just start laughing thinking about the story itself. And to pull the curtain back for one more story is we always do the show notes, but sometimes we might leave a few things out because we want to spring something on the guest and try something. And I think this next one was, I think, one of my better ideas, but you two were like, no, don't do it. But
It is legitimately made like the podcast median level go down to 14. The median age of the podcast.
We had what we say is the Sons of Ben's liaison of the front office, Mark Evans, director of fan services, and he's got like an even longer title than that. And we just wanted to have him play a little game. And this is.
Let me say before I play
What's this we?
I was listening back to a ton of these old episodes, trying to find some good moments in here. This has got to be like top 2, one of my favorite moments of this. It's too good. Let's play it.
Yeah, there's no way I can contribute.
We were gonna, for the first time with a guest, we're gonna play a little game, and I was we're gonna play this game, and I feel like we should let Mark choose we're gonna choose the game, and he gets to choose the category.
Okay.
So this is a riff on the classic radio game F, Marry, Kill.
Okay, I'm not playing F, Marry, Kill.
Well, we give you 3 people, and you tell us F, Marry, Kill. But here's the thing: here's the choice of the subjects: people or animals. Which one do you want? And we will give you the 3.
There's a reason why I wasn't prepped prior to the show.
What sort of game is this?
This is gonna get huge ratings.
Horrified, but intrigued.
You're tuning in, aren't you?
I want to see.
I swear to God, we're gonna start this game, and I'm gonna ding as soon as we need to.
I'm super curious to see where this goes.
Matt brought this in like we didn't talk about it in the pre-show.
Like he knew
about it. This was just Matt rolling this on us.
It's written on there. The guys play a game with Mark.
Where?
It does say that.
You all don't read.
That's fair.
Well, do you think you would have put F, Marry, Kill, animal, or people? No, I wouldn't.
No. I don't think my word processor will let them. So, you want actual people, or do you want...
Well, like, what are we talking here? Give me some examples. Are we talking, like, celebrities? Or are we... Because that's just
people you know.
Random.
People you know. And fictitious animals that you know.
Let's go animals. Please go animals.
I'm in a no-win situation here.
You gotta go animals.
You want to go animals?
Let's go animals.
All right.
Well, no, I think Adam wants to play the animal game, which is weird enough in itself.
We can all play, but Mark's got to go first. That's the only rule.
That's fine.
Guests go first. So if we all know F, Marry, Kill is, you want to with the one person, you want to marry the other, and you want to kill the other. So
I'm glad Matt had to explain.
Well, you don't know. The kids out there might not know the game.
You have to isolate the sound. If you do not isolate the sound, we're failing as a podcast.
Here are your three famous Philadelphia animals: the Philly Fanatic, Gritty, or Fang.
See, here's the thing. I hate all mascots.
Well, you can't kill them all. So you gotta figure that out.
I might have to.
Wait. All mascots?
All mascots.
Including our own his best friend in the world? The snake with an arm and
Well, no, I
two arms?
love Fang.
Wu Fang.
I love Fang, but...
So wait, you don't like the Taliesin tiger either?
What's that?
You don't like the Taliesin tiger either?
Yeah, no, mascots are creepy.
No. Oh, wait, hold on. What about the old dudes with the muskets?
All creepy.
Okay, those are creepy too. Okay, I just wanted to make sure the old dudes with the muskets.
Have you ever seen Yeah, they're all creepy.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So
we know who you love.
So wait, when we had the
I guess you're marrying Fang?
Well, no, I guess if I had to, I'd probably kill the Fanatic. I don't care. I'm not a Philly guy. I'm not a Phillies guy.
Yeah.
So we'll get him out of the way.
You don't like Joy?
I'll marry Fang.
Yeah.
Which leads you to believe that I'm looking for the good time.
Oh, yeah, with Gritty. I agree with you on that one because I think Gritty will let you do dirty stuff.
You said it. This got weird. This got real weird.
Right?
He forgot the safety word. It's the best.
Humperdinck.
Shabilko.
That goal is hard to get.
See, I think that's a great game.
Shabilko.
Adam, you want to play now?
I will humor you. I will play.
All right, we'll let everybody listen to Adam's part, but man,
that's gold.
Y'all got issues.
Absolutely.
Y'all got problems.
Oh, that's got to be one of the top 5 moments of the podcast right there.
That was a good time. I'm telling you, that was a good time. But
I don't even remember what my answers were. I just remember at that point I forgot half of that game. Like I forgot the animals part. I remember the people part. I forgot the animals part.
I have to look back at the notes to see who I had as the people. I think it was like Tim, Ernst, and Jim.
Yeah.
If he chose like people,
yeah, I remember
I'm so
that
glad
part.
he chose the
I do remember
mascots.
that part.
Oh man.
Oh, that was. See, we had a few good moments in the past 24 episodes. So now, Devin, can you do us a favor and can you run down the list of everybody that was a guest? And we just wanted to thank them because they've all had some great moments. I mean, Brace had a rant I loved. JT was freaking awesome the entire time. There were just so many people. Like Richard was just an amazing guest. But let's just run down everybody that's been on the show, including our buddy J Dubs, and we want to give a thank you to them.
Let me run this down here. It's Katie Fellinger, Sean Brace, Mark Evans, JW, Sebastian Latou, Tim McDermott, Kevin Casey, Jim Curtin, Kevin Kincaid, Joe Tanzi, Jamie Lynch, Jonathan Tannenwald, Morgan Tenza, Adam Can, Alexi Lawless, Rich, however you say his last name, and Jared Nicely. So there's that.
Leibowitz.
How did we fool all these people to jump onto this pod is beyond me, but God, I wanted to thank every single one of you, and Adam wants to thank you, and Devin, because it's been a blast, and we got more to go, because we got a whole MLS's back tournament to start dissecting into soon, so we're going to actually have content. Gonna get weird.
Things to actually talk about.
Yeah, but guys, let's wrap it up on the high note, and afterwards, stay tuned for the Fusion mashup. But guys, I wanted to say thanks a lot. That was 25 in the books, and everybody, stay safe and wash your hands.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this rendition of the Fusion Minute. Now, I understand that it's a little somber here at the Fusion fan headquarters here, just south of the Comcast 2 tower. We took it on the chin this week, guys. Took it on the chin this week to the defending Overwatch League champions, the San Francisco Shock. A 3-0 loss to the Shock was, for lack of a better word, a shock to me. Carpe, as always, played his ass off, but it just seemed like the support was not there for him. And this team from from the West Coast. They are very legit. They're very legit. But I'm happy to say that Devin, you actually watched this one. Devin,
I did watch this one.
it's a really shitty one to
I
watch.
saw them get wrecked by a Widowmaker. So there's that.
Oh my God, that Widowmaker
But-
play was incredible.
But Carpe, though.
His
Man.
Tracer game is still fantastic.
Oh, my God.
He's still so
He
good.
was just ripping up.
What
he
did
was ripping
DM
up their
do?
backline. And
It's
if
just-
they had any support from their other DPS player, they might have been able to contest the shock.
See, here's the thing. I ultimately believe that if there was more payload maps there, Carpe with his backline torture would have completely made that a different type of You know, the thing that we don't talk about a lot in this is map placement and teams with their map placement. And in this particular one, the map placement was not great for the Union or the Fusion. On top of the fact that San Francisco Shock seemed to be an unmovable force that just buzzes saws through all of the competition they come across.
One of the things the commentators say is that the shock have just so much star power. It kind of reminds me of like a Golden State Warriors scenario.
It really does. Like, I would say this with all my heart. I believe the Fusion are fully planted as the third best team in the world. But when you look at teams like the Shanghai Dragons and the San Francisco Shock, you're just looking at, like, there might be a different tier. Like, the Fusion might be the best second tier team in Overwatch because those two teams are on a different list.
Best.
They're on a different stratosphere.
Is there a salary cap in this? Like, why can't the owner spend some more money then, damn it?
I mean, it's Comcast. And here's the thing. On top of this,
Yeah, what the hell?
The Fusion's roster is absolutely stacked. I mean, like, the amount of guys that you have sitting on the bench. You have Poco hasn't played in 3 weeks, and Poco starts on
Can't
most
be that
places.
good if Shanghai's whooping our ass.
Look, man. Well, we haven't played Shanghai yet because I play over in Asia, so we haven't done the 4 a.m. games yet. It's also fun. I want to eventually discuss to you why they sent New York and London to play in the Asia games, but we kept Paris in the North America League. That's another story.
I'm cutting Comcast now because they're not spending my money to put money in the Fusion and make Philadelphia win.
Ironically,
So
they
guess
are.
what? I'm cutting the cable. I'm cutting the damn cable. I'm gonna get
I'm
some
going to tell you
Hulu.
this right now. Comcast is by far spending the most amount of money of any team in Overwatch because they're building a bleeping stadium.
I want results, Adam. I
mean, I do too. But like at this point, I'm saying this right now. They're in second place in North America firmly. You know, they're going to be the third seed going into the Summer Showdown tournament, which I think, you know, regroup, figure your shit out. You can probably get the dub there in the Summer Showdown.
Adam, I don't know if you saw this, but John from Jenkintown is on line 3, and he wants to complain about why the Fusion don't spend enough money.
John from Jenkintown, as I tell many people from Philadelphia Sports Radio, don't know shit. And that's therefore John from Jenkintown doesn't understand that. Again, when you have a Poco, when you're subbing out an Ivy over a Hizu, you have people on the bench who wholeheartedly could start on some of the best teams in the league. And you got a guy like Alarm, Rookie of the Year, pushing out some of the best support staffs out there. So I'm saying this. Ultimately, the Fusion are still a stacked team. I still expect greatness. However, San Francisco be legit.
Randy from Richboro says, "Screw that. We should be spending more money."
Where is
What's going on with
Richboro?
this crap? It's in Pennsylvania, not in San Francisco or not in Shanghai, where these people bleed for your Fusion and they want to spend some money and win something. Damn it!
I'm just still not sure where Richboro is. Is it near Richmond? I got questions. Anyway, the moral of the story is I agree with them, and I hope that the next couple of weeks will solidify the Fusion's status as one of the best teams. But look, man, they were taking apart the lower parts of the standings, but they need to come correct against the upper echelon, and I'm not sure if they have recently.
Lee from Logan Square says you can wish in one hand and crap in the other.
Let's wrap this up.
They're brutal today,
First
man.
off, no one from Logan Square uses that tone of voice. There are fine, sophisticated people here from the Museum District, sir. You take that away.
Maybe they weren't from Logan Square. Maybe they're just
They might be from
plain old
Logan. Yeah, they might be from just Logan. That's fine. But
I like the new interactive version of the Fusion Hour. I like taking callers.
The
This is great.
Fusion Hour was highly anticipated and demanded by the people, and I appreciate the people for understanding that this is high quality content right here. So I'm good.
Marge from Manayunk, thanks for calling in.
And that's where I'm ending this one.